Good morning, Kalimera everyone. How is everyone doing? Welcome to another market update. Today it's Friday the 12th of September. And we're going to talk about a little bit of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and two majors like XRP and Solana. Technically, we're going to go back to what we said yesterday to see what the market was doing since our last update. So welcome everyone. I hope everyone is doing fine. Welcome Stelios, welcome Aras, welcome everyone and the rest of the team. And I hope you have a great day, great evening. Depends your location and your time zone. So with no further ado, let me go full screen and let's have a look on Bitcoin. So yesterday, around this time, the same time as today, we were talking about our focus area, and our focus area was down here. Okay, so in the afternoon, just a little bit prior, an hour before the US open, we had this volatility. Obviously, we had the meetings in the US, so we understand that when we have meetings, we do have a little bit of turbulence inside the markets. So we do have some volatility, and you can see that volatility went both ways. So it went all the way down, took some liquidity. Remember yesterday we were talking about be careful with your entries and where you're going to put your stop losses, okay? And also we spoke about violations. If something violates once, it means, if I go zoom in a little bit, what I'm trying to say, that if you have a violation of the zone, there is a possibility that it's going to do it again, okay? And this is what happened. It violated, okay? So that was a liquidity grab, so to say. It was trying to take out both sides until it comes back, stabilized a little bit, do some consolidation, and then you can see that it start moving. And obviously our next target was the next G level. And what do we see? We see that it reacted very strongly on that G level. So you see the G levels are giving us a heads up way before, so it can be our target. So using the G levels will give you a clean shot where your next target is, and if you're going to be disciplined and take profits, that means you're booking the profits before the market is going to turn around on you. And then remember, this is what we said yesterday as well, make sure you take profits. Don't let the profits go back to the market, okay? You need to decide very quickly when you enter. You need to decide, very quickly when you're going to take profits. Okay, so let's put a little bit of music in the background to kill the silence. The intro is done. Let's move forward. Okay, so that was yesterday's focus area. We can remove these. Also, we spoke, if I go a little bit in a higher time frame, we also spoke that we need to see acceptance above the 50% of the range. Okay, so that's where we have these lovely golden light color line here. So that was the 50%. We've seen a few rejections. We have a rejection here, and acceptance going higher, and you can see on the 90 minutes we never close above. So you can see that we have a nice clean rejection right on the G level. So on the 90-minute time frame, which is my favorite, let's say long or let's say bigger time frame for my intraday setups, okay? So I look at 90 and 15. Okay, sometimes I can go down to 5, but that is not for me to do a setup. It's for me to observe in a higher detail what is going on in my focus area. Now today, if I want to mark my today's focus area, okay, I'll try to get in the last impulse. This is the high, this is the low, so that is going to be my box, right? Nice and simple and clean. So there it is. That's going to be the area of interest. I can go a little bit higher if I wanted to be more strict, okay, and trying to get the engulfing candle. So that's the one. That's the next one on the higher time frame to tighten my boxes, okay, and then I can move back to my 15-minute time frame, and you can see a little bit of deviations. If you understand that you're using a higher time frame, which is more solid candlesticks, once you go back to the lower time frame, you do expect and you do accept that you're going to have some divergence. It's fine, okay? Now, no acceptance above the G level. you are, once you approach a G level from below, you always treat that G level as a resistance. When the price action is dropping down towards a G level, you're expecting that G level to be at the support. Okay, these are the fundamentals, the basics of our thesis. So here it is. This is our focus box, and we want to see what the EU is going to do today and what the US is going to do later. We do know it is Friday. We do know it's going to be the end of the week. Few people will close the trades, they will take profits and then let the price come down, consolidate, all fine, a solid support before it's going to continue. But zooming out a little bit, you can see that clearly. If I go to 90 minutes, you can see clearly that we had a lovely push to the upside. We had a nice correction, and now yesterday, or I think it was on Wednesday, we were talking about the 4-point system, that we had a reversal pattern playing out. So this is like, the reversal, it means the downtrend or any trend, okay, it's been cancelled. So you have a 4-point system telling you that you have a high, high, low, high, 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 low, and that means the 4 points is telling you that your downtrend kind of came to an end and you are reversing direction. Okay, so that is the 4-point system. I can take out now any other old information to keep my charts nice and clean. I don't want to be too blotted, so to say, on my screens. I want to have nice clean lines. Okay, I want to make sure that I have no obstructions. I need to have a clear focus. So that is the 50%. We have an acceptance. I'm going to keep it that a little bit more, okay, because I need to see what the price action is going to do today, Friday, around this region. Go back to 15 minutes, okay, and I can see that price action once again is trying to violate the bottom of the range, and maybe it's going to target these lows. In case that it's going to lose these lows, it has to deal with this imbalance. Okay, so if you see that it does not come back very quickly inside the range, small deviations is okay. You can consider this a violation. Okay, now I'm going to put that in a bracket, okay, in a parenthesis that we say in Greek. The reason that we put that in a parenthesis is we know that this is my impulse, okay, on the smaller time frame. So technically this is my big range. So let me do a second box to give you an understanding of what I'm trying to say here. So this is your greater box of your focus, right? And this is the refined focus area. Okay, so let me do this with a template. So this is my focus area. Okay, and this is I can do it in different color. That's not right. That's not a problem. Let me do this in a white. Okay, and I'll put that white on the background at the back of the yellow. Okay, there it is. So now my golden is on the front of the white one. Okay, now this is the greatest area, the white, and the golden one is the more refined. Okay, more details. Now I need to understand that I have a threshold. This is a threshold. This is a threshold. However, it's still a violation. Okay, it's a violation of my focus area. Now it's okay to come down a little bit, but I want to see it coming back. Okay, so I can have, let's say, an entry. Okay, but my violation, it has to be when I get out from that box. So I hope that visually, okay, I can help you with, let's say, an entry and where's going to be my next stop loss, my validation. My validation is going to be outside of that box. Okay, now sometimes if you get a little bit of, let's say, liquidity grab and then comes back, okay, tough, it is what it is. I got stopped out. I don't want to take chances. Okay, it may turn around, it may not. Okay, it may go very fast with high momentum all the way down to clear this imbalance. I don't want to take chances. Okay, I don't want to get stuck in the wrong trade for a very long time. If I'm wrong, so to say, with my setup, not with the market, not with my TA, because my stop loss is part of my TA, right? So I'm not wrong with my TA. The market is not going the way I want it. So I want to get to escape. So this is your escape route. Okay, something happens on your way, you need to find an alternative way to get out. So that is going to be, let's say, a cheeky entry. Remember, the bottom of the range is your cheeky entry. Okay, and your target is your next G level. There it is. I can put a 50% in between as well as a checkpoint, and my validation is going to be exactly outside of that range. Okay, now you want to give extra threshold towards that area just to be safe. You can do. Look at that. It's only point or not 21. Okay, it's only not 21 away. So it's not too bad. So if I bring my calculator here, 5 is my maximum generous risk divided by not 21, and then you come with a 23.8, almost 24x. Okay, I like to use round numbers. Now 24x, it means I'm going to be more generous than 5%, so I'll rather go under. I'm going to round this to a lower number, so 23 is going to be my maximum leverage for that setup. Okay, and if everything goes well all the way up there, it's a 3.35. So let me bring my calculator. So 24x times 3.35, that is going to give me 80% profit. Not too bad. Okay, remember my target is around 10 to 20%. If I get 80, bonus, right? So that is going to be my today's setup. I'm going to leave this here for tomorrow. Okay, so my entry at the bottom of my focus box, tricky entry. I'm trying to take advantage, right? Rather than that, other people will prefer to get out from the box, deal with a G level, find some solid foundation and move. That is not a problem at all whatsoever. Nothing wrong with it. But if you enter successfully from the bottom of the range until the G level, I have a small advantage of 0.44 times the leverage. Okay, if I go that times 24, you understand that you have a good percentage gains. Okay, and my validation is going to be outside of that white box, the greater area. Okay, and I put a little bit of risk here with my last let me do this with a line here. So there it is. So that's my invalidation. Okay, just in case that it wants to go after that week. Plenty of space. Okay, I'm generous both sides. Okay, that is if plan A goes well. Okay, if plan A goes well, that the setup is going to turn around and go positive to the upside. Now in case that it wants to go lower, okay, well, I can use my entry breaking my greater box. My validation is going to be inside my focus box. Okay, if I'm going short, I'm not expecting to go inside my box, and my next target is going to be my next G level. This is not a G level, this is the 50%, so my next G level is going to be down here. So roughly we get something similar, 0.1 or 0.1 as my risk. Okay, that is a great leverage. High risk is a risk technique, but always you need to do your risk management calculation. So 5 divided by 0.1 or 0.1, that is a 50x trade. Okay, very tight, but if it works out, why not? Okay, now 50x, but risking only 0.1, it means I'm only risking 5%. Okay, and if it goes my way, it goes all the way down here. It's a 2.3 times 50. You understand that it's more than 100%, and my daily target is 10 to 20%. That is going to be like the cherry on the cake. So this is your plan A, plan B on intraday setups. Okay, which way is going to come first? I need evidence. Okay, now if you want to be a little bit more generous, okay, you're not comfortable with 50x full wallet size, you're risking 5%, but let's say that still makes you a little bit shaky. Okay, go with 50% of your focus box, right? This is your smaller box, so that line, 50% line here, that one there is your 50% of the box. So now you have greater a little bit larger, so to say, more generous risk. So that means it's going to drop your leverage and you're going to feel a little bit safer both ways. What if it's going to turn around? What if it's going to fluctuate? What if it's going to do a little bit of nonsense due to volatility, like yesterday before the meeting, it went up and down and then it chose a direction. I don't want to get stopped out too often, too soon. I understand. We spoke about that one yesterday as well. You know, the higher time frame trades that they don't go heavily on stop losses. There is a reason why, okay? Because they go minimum risk technique, which means very low leverage, 2x, 3x, okay? But as intraday, high risky technique, which means high leverage, you have to embrace the risk management stop loss. So enough of talking. 5 divided by 0.28, that is a 17x leverage. Okay, you see the difference now. From 50, you drop it down to 17 because you are a little bit more generous with your, let's say, invalidation. Okay, so that is going to be your setup for today onwards. How Bitcoin is going to react. Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? Okay, this is real time technical analysis. Real time, I mean with real time data on the screen. I didn't use any indicators. I didn't use any other AI smart bots or whatever. I'm using the real time data and my G levels. Okay, right, let's have a look on Ethereum. Yesterday we did have a plan A, plan B. If things will go higher, you know, the price is going to break above. Let me show you on the 90-minute time frame. There it is. Multiple attempts to get out on Monday, on Tuesday, Wednesday. It comes back, respecting the 50%. And since Thursday, 3 o'clock in the morning, my local time, which means before my yesterday's live, we could see that it's going all the way up, trying to test. You can see here the volatility of the meetings. Look at that wick, right? So we do have volatility because of the meeting, but you can see that it never closed anything closer to our G level, right? So you see that it's going up and up and up, and Ethereum is pushing, right? It's really, really pushing. So that was yesterday's focus box. We can remove that, go down to 15, and let's see what I can see here. I can see an impulse, a high, a low. It's trying to break it. Okay, let me use that. There it is, high and low. And what can I, what do I expect now? Do I expect to bounce on the top of the range, find support, and then turn around and continue to the upside? That would be a nice setup. It's going to look something like this. Okay, here it is. Now, if I want to be a little bit more respectful with my Ethereum here, I say, hey, listen, my entry is going to be here where you are retesting. Okay, somewhere here, somewhere there, wherever you like. Okay, give it some time and see how it's going to react on the box. Is it going to stay above? If it's going to stay above, and then you see a bounce, you can take an entry. Okay, and when you're going to take your entry, your next stop loss is going to be, let's say, the 50% of the box. All right, you don't expect to get inside the box, right? And if it does a little bit, it's okay to get out. I don't want to see it breaking my 50%. So that's going to be my stop loss, and my next target is going to be my next G level. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's close by. That G level is going to be acted as a resistance. I know that. And before it's going to get rejected, I want to be first to take profit, and then I'll let the market reject. It's fine. It's going to get rejected. No problem. Okay. I don't want to waste my time and give my profits back to market. Okay. While it's going to get rejected, and while it's going to get, let's say, a correction. It's fine. Give the correction, but make sure before the correction you take the money. You wait for the correction, and then you re-enter again. That's the trick. That's the game. That's the game that we're playing. Okay. You're trying to catch an impulse. Simple as that. We want to catch a momentum. We want to catch a price that it moves. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin. It doesn't matter if it's going to be Ethereum or Solana or XRP or anything, right? Pick two pairs that you like, you understand, and then you just monitor, right? And you just repeat the same thing over and over. You don't care about the direction. You care about the momentum. Does it move fast or does it move slow? If it's slow, not very good. If you're moving fast, that's your opportunity. And you're trying to grab it as soon as possible because you don't know how long it's going to last. It's going to last for a few hours, a few minutes, a few days, weeks. You don't know. The market is a ride and walk. Always, the market is a ride and walk. You don't know if it's going to go up. You don't know if it's going to go down. You don't know if it's going to go sideways. And frankly, you don't care. I don't care. You shouldn't care. What you care is for you when it moves in any direction, up or down, you grab the opportunity. Make the most of it. And once you reach another checkpoint, which is your G level, make sure you take profits before you're going to get rejected. Make sure you take the profits, book them, and get ready for the next move. Nice and simple. Now, if the market's going to be generous with you, it's nothing to do with your TA, nothing to do with your strategy. It's the market. How long will it go for? Oh, it went up for 20%. That is good. I grabbed the opportunity. I took my 20%. Oh, it didn't do so well today. It only did 5%. Okay, fair enough. The market wasn't moving the way you want it. That's not your problem. That is not your fault. That has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. You don't control it. It can do whatever it likes. It's not going to ask me. It's not going to ask you. It's not going to ask anyone. Okay? Don't wait for the news. The news is too late. The news are late news, or fake news, or unconfirmed news. You name it. The market's going to react first. Then it's going to be the second phase, which is going to be the psychological. That's a different story. We do the reverse engineering multiple times. We spoke about that. Okay? But the real data is here now happening on the front of the screen. If something big major happening into the world, like a war breaking out, then you can go reverse engineer and say, hey, that's going to break panic. That is going to make people sell. So I'm going to short the market. Now is my opportunity. So you're going to do reverse engineering based on the psychology, not on the real-time data. Okay? But it has to be something really, really solid, really big, like a war. Okay? Which you know is not going to last minutes. If a war is going to break out, it's going to last some time. So you know that the direction, a panic direction, is going to be a strong move. Look what happened with Russia and Ukraine. Do you think that it's a one-day war? It's been going on since 2022, right? Israel and with Hamas, is that going to end in one day? No. Or with Iran, is it going to end up with one day? No. If China's going to go against Taiwan, do you think that's going to end up in one day? No. Okay, so any war, even in Greece and Turkey, if that another war goes off, do you think that's going to be one day? No. So that is the reverse engineering, and you base on psychology. You understand that the people are going to panic, and you bet on it. That you're gonna, if the people are going to panic, they're going to start shorting, or the oil is going to go up because of the danger. You're using other kind of things because you understand the psychology behind it. But you cannot predict when the war is going to happen. Okay? So big news, yes. Other news, no. Okay? Stick to your chart. And you just need to grab an opportunity. That's all. So that's your plan A for Ethereum. If the Ethereum is going to come down on the 15-minute time frame, it's going to bounce here. Respect the our little box. You can do the same technique. Okay? This is your greater box on the 15-minute. Go down to 90-minute. And you can see that you have really, really narrow box on the 90-minute. Remember the refined. There it is. Let me mark this as a template, a lovely template of focus area. And now you have two boxes. That I just came up with this idea today. Okay, it's brand new, fresh, just baked. So you can have two boxes. Okay. Just to help you with understanding that you have the super refined box focus area that we do on a higher time frame. On the smaller time frame, you have this lovely greater box. Okay, which is absolutely fine. There it is. To make sure that it's all nice and accurate, there it is. So you can have entries and thresholds. You can understand where your validation point is going to be. Okay, that's going to help. I hope. Okay, so there it is. You have both boxes the same as in Bitcoin. Okay, here's your entry, here's your validation, and plan B is going to be when and if it's going to break out for our G level. Look at how close they are. So I'm going to say I'm going to enter after the G level, breaking out the G level. Let's say there is a possibility that's going to take that liquid, that imbalance, and then turn it around, or maybe it's going to break that imbalance and go lower. You don't know. So that's my entry. My next target is going to be my next G level, and my validation is going to be roughly, let's say, either you don't want to see it go inside the box, which is not too bad. Look at that. It's 0.30. Okay, so here's your calculator. 5% divided by 0.3, and that is a 16x leverage. Not too bad. Not too bad. It's a good leverage. You have a good validation area, generous risk, and you have your targets. And that's going to be like your intraday setups, A and B. You don't know which way it's going to go, but you are prepared. You're ready. You just need to grab an opportunity and a direction, and you just hope that the market's going to have a nice momentum to it for you to make profits as soon as possible. And once you reach the targets, you make sure you take action. Okay, take your TPs, book your profits. Sometimes the market's going to be silly. Okay, it happens that you plan, it's going on your way, and before it's going to hit your your target, your GL is turning around and hit your stop loss. Shit happens. Okay, again, it's nothing to do with your strategy, nothing to do with your work, blah blah blah, etc. The market is turning. Okay, it's designed to turn and mess people up. Now, in between G levels, you can mark the 50%, which I usually do with that lovely light golden color. There it is. And then you can mark the next 50%. Okay. And why I do that? To counter attack that possibility. Okay. That when the market's doing these silly things I just demonstrated earlier, that it comes down, right, on your way, hits that 50%, and then turns around and hits your stop loss, and you're like, oh shit, that was going well, and then all of a sudden turn around. Usually you're going to find out that it's turning around on the 50%. Okay, always 50%. It's very crucial. So here's your plan, A and B for Ethereum. Mark the 50% just in case you want to make sure that, hey, what's going on? As like a checkpoint. Are you breaking that 50%, or are you rejecting this? Are you turning around on me? Should I close that trade and make sure that I don't get hit my stop loss and buy my stop loss and then lose all the profit and be silly, wasting my time here? Well, if you're in breaking and continue. So far, what do we have? A little wick. What does that wick tell me? It's telling me that it's getting rejected. So yes, lovely, nice bounce, but what are you going to do with these 50% of between 109 and 122, my 15%, which is a red line here, 115.8. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to get rejected? If it's going to get rejected, you understand what's going to happen, right? Comes down, comes here, boom, continues to the downside, which means you have a high, a low, and a lower high. And you're like, uh-oh, not good news. Are we going to get another lower low? That's what it means on the weekly time frame. Okay, remember that usually this around time, my 122 was my top. Okay, and as in months, we spoke about this in May and June, as in months, as the time that we're going towards the top of the cycle based on the historical data, maybe the 122 is going to be the last top, maybe. But as I said, I do have a threshold of 3 months, which is going to be July, August, September. So after September, I need to pack my bag, so to say. And another thing that I keep in mind, that maybe Donald Trump, as a businessman, as the president of the United States, has really, really good schedule in the business world that is going to make the financial system to turn around and postpone the bear market. Maybe, perhaps he's so powerful, maybe, or all his planning that he's doing is going to work out for him. And then, we all see in the social media that all the American companies are trying to go back to the United States and invest from inside the United States. So that can upset a little bit the global. Speak about, the market's going to crash. No, I'm talking about based on the historical data. But, one man can change the things, which is a good story, right? Dixie, we need to monitor Dixie because we know that when Dixie is dropping, it means good for Bitcoin. Okay, oh, wrong tool here. Apologize. I just want a marker. Thank you. So when Dixie is dropping, that usually is good news for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is pumping, so to say. Consolidation. Okay, it's trying to find support. It's trying to find the way to go. Consolidating, going sideways, trying to balance, and then we need to see which direction it's going to go. Two things can happen. Either it's going to reverse or either it's going to continue. Two things can happen after a consolidation. If we see Dixie rising, okay, that means Bitcoin will get affected negatively against it, okay, on the opposite way. So if Dixie is going to rise immediately, be careful, it's going to drop. This is when Dixie pushed up. This is when Bitcoin hit 122 and start on the Bitcoin chart. When that was going up, Bitcoin was coming down from 122 heavily, right? And now you can see that it's consolidating, and Bitcoin after the correction, it was trying for a second time, third time to go to 122. Speaking of which, there it is. And let me go to the weekly. No, I think weekly is too but let me go to 12 hours and we can see that there it is, 122. It came down. This is when Dixie was going up, Bitcoin was going down, and then after Dixie was consolidating, it went for the second time out to 122, and this is the third time that it's trying to go to 122. So while Dixie is going sideways, Bitcoin will try its chances. It's going to try, okay? When Dixie really is going to start going up, this is when we're going to see Bitcoin start dropping big time, okay? So let's go back to 15 minute. This is our setup, plan A, plan B. As I said, you never know what the market's going to do. You just need to grab an opportunity and you see the options that you have, A and B. Okay, move on to XRP and see what it's doing. Since yesterday we said multiple times that it's having a hard time going above $3. That was the first rejection. That was the second rejection. That was the third rejection. Look at that nonsense. Okay, volatility that was spiking up, coming down all the way down here. Took that liquidity. All these longs have been kicked out, and then what happened? XRP went up. This is what the market is doing. When they see heavily leverage towards one direction, they're going to go down, kick them out, and once they kick them out, then they're going laughing right on their backs, or let's say right on the face. They say, haha, I'm going up. So XRP since yesterday, after the US meeting, you can see that it is 8 o'clock my local time, which is after the US Open, after this nonsense that happened prior to the Open. This is the prior to the Open, and this is after the Open, post Open, and you can see that XRP is pushing to the upside. So after the US Open yesterday, we had XRP not rejecting as resistance, is rejecting as a support on the $3 mark. So good on XRP. XRP is pushing to the upside. That is good. Remember, plan A, plan B. You claim a G level, you take a long until the next G level. The same thing with Solana. There it is. This is our plan A that we had yesterday with Solana. Breaking out from the range, you can take a general stop loss right on the G level, but because it's a G level, you want to give it a bit more room because you know that multiple times it can come to the G level. That's not your validation touching the G level. Your validation is breaking that G level. So we had our validation on the bottom of the range. You can see that all this nonsense yesterday. Look at that huge wick over here. Okay, that nonsense. Before the US Open, and after that it found the support exactly on our opening, which is technically it found support on the top of the focus box, and it's going up towards our G level. So far so good with Solana. What's the numbers? 7%. Okay, so that's a 5x, a little bit less than a 5x trade. and that is a 7%. So times 5, it means almost 38%. But let's say 35 round number after taking the fees, maybe 33% profit. Remember, you're targeting 10%, 20%. You're getting a 35. It didn't last hours. It's going to last you a day. Okay, fair enough. 35% is close to 40%, which is 20 yesterday and 20 today. Very close. You close that trade and then you open another one to continue to match your 20% per day. Okay. So far, Solana is doing quite well. So that is the market update today. For Solana, you know that the next G level is going to be your TP, right? You're going to take profits. You let and see. It's going to do a correction. It's going to get rejected. It's going to claim. You don't know. You wait until you get a new focus box in that area for you to understand what are you going to do next. Are you going to go long or are you going to go short? Okay, so far we are still traveling towards a target. So that's why I don't do another focus area, because it's all the way, you know, is already on the way there. So I'm going to wait and see if it's going to hit my TP. Okay. I hope that the market is it's not going to get broken. It's not going to come down. If you want to make sure that, you know, you are safe, already 223 is a key level. So what you're going to do, you're going to print on the screen the 50% between the two ranges. Okay. Mark that as your checkpoint. Hey, this is my 50% of the range. This is my checkpoint. I don't want to see Solana dropping below that line. Okay. And you can see how lovely that 50% is being respected. Okay. So you're so close to the TP, but you know, markets are run and walk. You can see that it's going to be coming down. You're going to be okay until here. If it's going to break that, close it. Take the profit from this area. Okay, give it a bit of room, and maybe it's going to do something like this. I expect that once that's been tested as a support, I don't wish to see that Solana's going to come back to that, but you never know, it may do. But if it does, as long as it stays here, fine. If it's going to lose it, close the trade and book the profits. Okay, we were so close to TP, but you cannot control it. Okay, let's hope that today, Friday, the market's going to continue to the upside. Okay. You don't need to do prayers. Okay, we don't pray on the crypto chart, on the crypto gods. We only pray to our true God, the one and only. Okay, simple. I don't know what is your belief in religion. You can have your own religion, your own beliefs. You have your own God. Okay, I'm respecting every religion here. I'm not trying to be religious. I've just said, you know, I don't want to pray on the chart. I prefer to pray to my religious God, wherever that is going to be. Okay? Right. That's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. That is for today. Today is Friday. It's Friday. I can't put the song. Remember, we got banned. It wasn't bad, but they took the. I got a warning about the video. I think they muted that part of the video because I put the song. So I'm not going to put the song. It's Friday today. Last day of the week. Weekend is right the corner. Make sure you do take some time off. Please do, right? You know, spend some time with your family. Get away from the charge. It's Friday. You're working Monday to Friday. It's good enough, okay? Saturday and Sunday, spend time with your loved ones, your friends, your buddies, your partners, your spouse, whatever that's going to be, your siblings, your family. You know, spend some time, recharge your batteries, you know, go out there, enjoy the nature. It doesn't matter the weather, okay? You know, if it's raining, it's fine. You're not made by sugar. You're not going to melt. Go out there, enjoy the rain, enjoy the nature, have fun. Go have a good dinner, lunch, breakfast, or what we call a brunch with your friends. You know, have a good time. Buy, you know, some nice clothes for yourself. Dress nicely, feel nicely, be nice, okay? Everything has to be, you know, look yourself as a nice person, right? And then be a nice person and feel nice about this nice, lovely looking person, right? That's the target, right? That's the main purpose of the life. We need to feel good, be good, right? Okay, that's it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. please do come back on Monday. We're going to come back on Monday, do the market live update for you. Slowly, we're going to introduce as well once a week live training with me, or training, whatever that is. It's going to be in Zoom, not on YouTube. So you're going to have a voice. We're going to discuss. You're going to bring your questions, ask me anything about trading. And, we'll take it from here. Okay? Once a week with me. And you're more than welcome. If you have any questions, you have any problems, tag me inside the Discord and book one-on-one call with me. You can do that as well. Okay? Ask for a private call with me and I'll arrange it. Okay? Right, that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday. Enjoy the weekend right the corner. Have a lovely one, splendid one. Enjoy. And I'll see you back on Monday, recharged and fresh. Take care. And remember, my favorite quote, every day is a good day. No matter what, every day is a good day. We do have bad days, of course. Life is going to bring you surprises, like the markets do, right? But trying to make the best of it, okay? Any problem, it's okay. It's fine. Trying to find the solution. The best solution that you can, okay? Don't worry too much about anything, okay? If you can fix it, don't worry. Problems, do arise. They mess up a little bit the program, the schedule, I understand. They mess up with your emotions, I understand. We all fall, but that doesn't matter. What it matters is what you do after you fall. You're going to become strong and rise. Simple as that, okay? That's what matters. Everyone can fall. And it doesn't matter how many times you fall. The problem is you don't get stuck. That's the problem. So focus and get up again, and everything's going to be fine. So yes, bad days will come in our lives, but let's try to make the best of it. Focus to the positive, find solutions, and carry on. If you cannot fix it, don't worry, because there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? Maybe it's a sad event that you can't do anything about it. But don't worry. Don't stress yourself. Yes, you can be upset. Some things in life they're going to make you cry. It's fine. But don't put the stress on yourself. Don't worry about it. Different emotions of being worried and stressed with being sad and you're going to cry. Different emotions. Okay? Do different things. Don't mix them up. It's good for you to cry. The same way it's good for you to laugh. Okay? But to be sad because of a bad event, that is a different story. But nothing to do with worrying and stress yourself. Okay? Shit happens. Okay? Let's deal with it. Find solution. Don't let the problem drag you down. Okay? Listen to no one. Keep going. I'll see you on Monday. Every day is a good day.